Hallelujah. Giving, hallelujah. Giving the highest praise. Hallelujah. Giving the highest praise. Hallelujah. Giving the highest praise. In the morning when I wake up, in the night when I wake up, I will lift up my voice to heaven and give you the highest praise. Hallelujah to my King. Hallelujah to my Father. Hallelujah to my Jesus. I bow before the throne. When I look at all the wonder and I see all the creation, the beauty of the universe, you never, never change. You never, never lie. You never, never change. You never, never fail. Hallelujah to my Jesus. Hallelujah. 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 Hey, hey. Hallelujah. Giving, hallelujah. Giving the highest praise. Hallelujah. Giving the highest praise. Hallelujah. Giving the highest praise.
Hey, come let's pray, Jehovah. Come let's worship Jehovah. It is the
Good evening, folks. Welcome to the Liberia Public Radio and Lpr-Tv. I'm Alfonso Zienso of the Liberia Public Radio, right here from the New England Bureau. We want to welcome our viewers and listeners across the globe. Thank you. We're wondering why you're seeing all of these bills all behind me here. It is an effective campaign we are about to launch, Bring Back Our Money. This is Alfonso Zienso of the Liberia Public Radio and Lpr-Tv. The 103 woman on Capitol Hill has become a political vampire at the expense of the Liberian people. I remember the last time we were being rationed, I was in refugee camp in Freetown, Sierra Leone Camp, Waterloo, where the United Nations, because we were displaced, we were refugees from a sovereign nation to another nation, so we were entitled to being rationed by food. But the culture, the audacity of our politicians now, they have created politically, strategically, put something that make it a law. They are now rationing money to themselves, leaving the ordinary Liberian starving. Yet we have very few people under the disguise of political correctness giving justifications of this sort of actions. It is a common sense method that one could deploy. Looking at the country Liberia, the daily survival of the everyday Liberians, for these men and women who should be the direct representative of their people to protect, the desire to behave like a cockroaches, to eat first until they can get drowned in the barrel, and then they can get a program, they can do the work of the people. I am Alfonso Zienso of the Liberia Public Radio and Lpr-Tv. Stay tuned. We're going to have a critical conversation here this evening. I want to be taking you to neighboring like Cote d'Ivoire with this song here. If you don't know the meaning of this song here, there's one word you must pick up. As the liberal progressive, hopefully you're going to join me here by Kablue. Let's get it going.
Gouverneur de fois Lyon. Le Bitignon, Moussa Traoré, commissaire Loubé. Le pays de la.
If you can't understand crowd, I'm going to give you a little specific meaning by Kai, mean their pants, their skies, their trousers, or whatever. A blue and me falls, right? Our 103 men and women, their skies, their dresses, their pants, already off on them. So let's listen.
Patrick Odier, Bosso Oussako, Abou Diakité. La famille Revo. Tu as l'habitude d'entendre la nuit, tous les chats sont gris. C'est juste pour te dire que la nuit, tout le monde se ressemble. Y'en a qui portent la vie de la petite frère pour venir faire malheur au quartier. Voiture de société, ils prennent ça pour nous faire casser. Oh. J'ai tant de souffrance au lieu de chercher à réaliser. Papa se met bien dans les maquilles, les enfants mettent de faire la maison. DJ crie son nom dans le micro, il se sent roi, il se sent chef. C'est quand il voit un argent là, c'est là son bas, c'est l'impôt. Oh, c'est où ça te dit que le gars là, son caleçon est gros. Vous s'y fait au quartier là, son caleçon est tiba. Voilà, il est là dedans là, on connaît son modèle au pays. Ils ont goûté, ouais.
Well, these are our warrants in the interest of African solidarity. We're going to take you to liberate La Côte d'Ivoire. In fact, latest news been reported on major news network. Former President Laurent Gbagbo is expected to return in the capital of Abidjan after being acquitted from the ICC. Liberia Public Radio is doing everything possibly can. Our national correspondent is based in the neighboring Abidjan. We are hoping doing everything possibly we can to bring you live coverage of the arrival of Laurent Gbagbo, the former president of La Côte d'Ivoire.
Le kilo n'a pas de prix à coûter. Maman connexion abonao.
All the men and women Capitol Hill, from Nyobli Kanga Lauren, Darrell Dillon, Sir Joseph, Thomas Fowler, all of them, their pens all falling down on it. It is a disgrace to see our men, people who to represent the interests of the country, to ration money like a full ration. Seriously.
Tiesco a Discord. Simple de war. Our war. They're
not listening at all.
They
are ordinary Liberians who can't even get it to eat. Look at JFK, look at the hospital. And then on their political wing, strategically, politically, at their own benefit, they put that to become a law.
Pardonne-les, Seigneur, car ils savent pas ce qu'ils font. Rabadene Tizara.
Oh, Rabantene, you remember that song, right?
Tizara. Rabadene Tizara. Yeah, Tizara, Rabadene Tizara. Oh, Rabadene Tizara, Tizara, Tizara. Rabadene Tizara, Tizara, Tizara. Yeah, Rabadene Tizara, Tizara. Tizara, Rabadene Tizara, Tizara, Tizara. Manu Katele yo. Atea, il est sao. De il Rabadene Tizara. Tizara, Rabadene Tizara.
Lpr-Tv. We want to welcome you. This Kohen Semsi Soseta is a live Ivorian artist based in neighboring La Côte d'Ivoire, getting off the stage, going here this evening. I want to welcome our viewers and listeners across the globe. We are in solidarity with our 15K. These people, they are heartless. They act like they don't have even blood running their veins, and then when they come out of hypocrisy, they try to do stuff. Wow, we're going to get a conversation going very shortly. My contributors are going to be joining me, and we're going to be getting our reaction. I'm not sure whether I'm going to be a fan of people, because we're going to sound ridiculously ridiculous here this evening, because it's just too much. Probably we just need to put that contract on eBay or Craigslist or ask Jeff Bezos to take it over. I was listening to some of these men, and women, they were talking to my guys. They said they can't see the link. Let me just hold on there. Let me just take a quick commercial break, and I will be right back as we try to make sure to get the guys here going. Stay with me.
Welcome to Fiber King of Land. Everyone that's looking for a nice African for wedding, whatever fiber you need, you can just come over here. You have all this nice stuff. If you need ashebi, you guys can come over here for baby shower, for wedding. You guys are welcome. She had really nice stuff. You can see all over there, all those men over here. You don't have to go to the theater and then they're going to be telling you all kind of stories. You can just come here. They're already made. And for ladies, you can just look for whatever fiber you're looking for and match it for the men. And, your husband already have a shirt made.
Okay, let's see. Hopefully, the guys, they're going to get a link. I want to join in. We want to welcome our viewers and listeners across the globe. So do us a favor at no cost. Just invite someone, relative, friends, whatever they are. Just hit the share button to welcome Executive from the Voice of Sano and all our valuable listeners, Mary, the group, Eugene. What a great people here. We are here to keep it proportional and have a conversation. And I hope we always undo our political interests or support for these people that are represented. It is time for us to take the bull by the horn and make them, to compel them. We have to speak a language that they will understand, not to abuse, because when you abuse people, you kill the substance of the conversation. And that's why we don't like it, but we must speak peacefully. We must communicate with them. And I'm quite sure some of them are watching to see these bills. I never done this before. But it's like, enough is enough. Our people, they need to employ a common sense. The country is dying, the country is bleeding. And these people that we all elected directly or indirectly to represent us, to talk, to seek what we need for the country, they are behaving, they are doing what they are doing is quite appalling. It is amazing. It is over the roof. And there should be no room for us to condone this. There is no justification, not a political justification. I see their actions as a political vampires that are on Capitol Hill to exploit, to abuse financially Liberian people, taking off as granted because we dive into anything. And I think I'm kind of like in support with what Alexander Cummings is saying. You have political leaders, people that are seeking state power. Yes, it is in the law. Okay, why not give it a second thought? When last these people ever went back to their constituencies to even have a conversation with their people? This is what they put there. What you think about it? But then when they take their ridiculous actions on purpose, then they come back, they create and modify and solidify their position to say, okay, it was there last year and we never get this, we never do that. Yes, they have staff or people that work for them on a daily basis, clean their offices. They can't even get paid. Let's put aside politics here a little bit. Let's have a conversation here in the interest of the Liberianization policy about our country. You here in the diaspora, any other place, we all feel the pain. Whether you are Seditian, you are Modicians, or whatever, whoever you support. Our phone lines been bombarded. Just last weekend, we were able to lay to rest our beautiful daughter, who passed as the result of suffer from leukemia. Right? Beautiful Tamora Chesapeake happened to be my niece at JFK. And the workers at JFK, they are so amazing. They were very helpful. She was in pain, they care for her, but there is nothing there for these people to work with. And we have our lawmakers on unconstitutional gabble, because whatever that who put it there, they put it there, who put it there, we need to demand that freaking stuff is out of it. And we are providing explanation to justifications of the actions of these people. So I agree with Alexander Cummings, but they have seen the backlash. Interestingly, some of our valuable people, they are celebrating our birthday. Madam Tanian Sylvie is one of the contributors here, always there. As many of you as well is celebrating her birthday today. We want to say happy birthday to her on this day. This is what the sister network news outlet is reporting. That's the front page. The cause, US 15K, Senate comes under public scrutiny. Okay, let's do that. Our contributor George Wheeler is standing back in Australia, joining us here. I think the Liberal Progressive of the Liberty Party appears on the run this evening. Hopefully he's going to come here. Like he tell us, Nyomli Kanga, what, number 7 or whatever on the list. Jesus Christ of Nazareth. Let me bring in Widow here and see what we can talk a little bit. And we're going to do a take. George Widow.
Yes, sir. Good morning from my end. It's happy to be here.
Okay. Good evening from my end. It's 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. How are you this morning?
Yeah, I'm actually upbeat, and I'm looking forward to the discussion because it's quite fascinating what's going on in Liberia.
You got your share, the ration that they're giving you got some, but you support the government. I'm not sounding to me ridiculous yet, but
Yeah.
by mistake anybody send you what some sort of a cash app or send wave from inside Liberia here? What is it?
No, not at all. And I don't think anyone will think about sending me any because they know I don't support, anything that has to do with rotting our envelope, our national envelope. So I don't think anyone is going to do that.
Okay. One of the strong voices within the Liberian Senate opposition to Darius DeLong, I spoke to the press after that. I have a different version of it. And we want to critically have that sort of discussion because I see some sort of hypocrisy in it. And people need to speak out to call it as it is. We'll play that courtesy of our sister network television, like Spawn Network. We're going to play that, and then we're going to talk about this. I'm not sure. You feel free. We're going to have our follower to also participate in this conversation here. But let me just, hopefully I can get a hold of this video, and then we get a little soundbite of it, and we will have a conversation. I am a Susie and sort of the Liberia Public Radio and Lpr-Tv. Okay, let's see here. Hopefully, you're going to do a favor here. Let's see here. Let's go here.
I set up this discussion for a press conference for 3 o'clock. Thankfully, you are all assigned here at the Capitol building. It is after 5. We have just concluded session because of the agenda that we have today. So thank you for the patience and the time. We just want to be very brief. We have a situation at hand that involves our collection of $15,000 US. There's mostly action out there. Some people are sentimentally.
It's not a situation. It's a creation. You guys knew it's been there. It has been there. Let's go right to it.
Disappointed. Some people are being very critical of us on a good faith, and they think we are a letdown. We set standard that we must live by. We have said that our coming year should be change, about change. And as much as we're fighting for this change, we will continue to be the best of humor, not to let down. But wherever we slip or let down, we will not stay on the ground. We will wake up, and then we'll become better persons. I just want to be clear that a lot of views out there regarding this money. We want to make it clear that this money is not personal benefit for lawmakers. It is not added to our personal benefit. It just needs to be further explained. The budget line, some argument is that this money issue is not in the budget at all. It is not true. It is budgeted for, and will make no justification as to whether the president has line item for presidential project, and there must be legislative project. In the budget, there's a budget line item that was passed into law for legislative engagement and public accessibility. That money has not been given for the last 2-3 years. This is the first time it's being provided. This is the first time the public, you in the public, have gotten to know because we announced it. And our announcement of this amount should not be a justification for doing wrong if it is wrong. But if it is wrong and we legalize the wrong, then we don't get to correct it if you don't know. We don't get to correct it if you, the employees of the employers of the people, don't get to know to find out what is wrong. If we do not expose what is happening in the dark, you do not get to know. So there are two schools of thought. Get the money back. No, don't get the money back. Get the money back. No, don't get the money back. I like the fact that the barrage of condemnations and sometimes consolation being thrown at me. It says one thing to me. The country is looking to us with hope. The country has decided that they will use us as compass for integrity into public service. Some people doing it for the politics of it. Some people just want, quote unquote, they like to go up. So they say, we're all in the dark, let remain there. It's okay to be like that. Some people are genuine in their sentiment or the expressions of their disappointment. Some people have been made to believe that this money is added to our personal individual benefit that we can use it anyhow. This money is in the budget. I think now that it has angered the public and everybody knows, we can now go back to the drawing board and do it better. Do it better in the spirit of transparency, accountability, and good governance. Give the money back. No, don't get the money back. So I have decided that, as disappointing as it may sound to some people, we will not return the money. We will turn the money over through a communication to Liz, and we ask Liz to join us through the superintendent of this county to fund.
Okay, there you have it, folks. We want to welcome our viewers and listeners across the globe. I'm Alfonso Z, and so right here at the New England Bureau from the Ocean State of Rhode Island. My contributor, Widow, is joining me from Australia this early morning. Okay, let's start the conversation, and hopefully we're going to be going to a bait by bait. First of all, let me get your initial reaction after you heard that the 103 men and women on Capitol Hill that represent you and myself directly or indirectly, what I will vote for them, it is in that context I'm speaking. They were what? I consider that as ration. 15,000, because the last time I got a ration when I was in Camp Waterloo in Freetown during the heat of the civil crisis. But to see that's so I'm in solidarity with the ordinary Liberian people that have different view, different interpretation. That's why you see these bills all behind me here. That maybe I hope I can give some to people.
Yes, so
When you heard that, what was your very first instinct as a Liberian, as a person?
Yeah, Mr. So, look, I'm completely against, this particular, money being rational, as you rather put it, to the lawmakers. But I want to set this conversation in context, because I see a lot of people who are taking this thing out of proportion and they are moving in another direction. Here's what I want to say. In the duration of this conversation, I will be talking about Senator DeLong. And here's why I'm going to be talking about him. I'm going to be talking about him because
I don't think it's strange development for me.
Yeah. The reason I'm going to be talking about him is that because all of the senators on Capitol Hill are being justifying the money they get. And when people voted for Senator DeLong, they were voting for the contrary, that people that will not justify wasting Liberian people money and put them in the pockets of few. That's why people voted for him. And he made a commitment. I remember he posted back in, I think 2013 or 12, when he said the representatives and senators on Capitol Hill were buying cars, and he felt it was a waste of money. That's a lot of money that could be used in other places. And the senator is here justifying that the money is in the budget. I want to remind the senator that every money that have been expended on Capitol Hill was in the budget. But it was wrong. Not everything that is legal is right. Things can be legal and they can be right. They can be wrong. But yes, an example.
We don't hold on 1 second.
Yeah.
Kingdom has fallen upon us here this afternoon. Guess who is backstage right now? Oh my goodness. I'm not sure how.
Progressive?
Oh, I don't want to call his name because we have been headbutting one another the last 2-3 days. He is a Liberty Party. He gonna distance himself as usual. That guy, he think he's smart. So he gonna play that sort of a gaming here to say, I'm a Liberty Party guy here in the USA, not in Liberia. But let me just bring him in so we can get a conversation going. There you see him, the most liberal progressive on this network, with extreme view from Total to Colombia here in the USA. You not bring a pound one copy again today? Go ahead, Wida.
Yeah, look, and that's the thing. The reason why I see people are demanding Senator DeLong to take action or to return this money is because throughout his campaign and even before his campaign, he has always campaigned against the wastage on Capitol Hill, and that's why we are holding him accountable. We know that the money is legal. Yeah, we know it's legal because they put it there. And the thing is that the executive branch did not give them this money. They took it themselves. These people put this $30,000 per senator or per legislature in the national budget for themselves. So it's legal. We understand that it was passed. It's legal. But is it right? Is it prudent for an economy that is in the toilet that he said is now in the septic tank? It's not right. And that's what we need to speak about. So people should stop going about talking about it's legal and they should use it for the intended purpose. No, it is not. It is not right. It's not prudent for our society. And I think people should begin to open their eyes to these realities, because I understand that every time we have sides, and say or not, there are always sides in every situation. But what we need to do as a people is to make sure that we are on the right side. And the right side here is to ask the senators, all of them, to return this money to the national envelope.
Okay, so let's keep the conversation proportional. Now, the most liberal is here that he always baby cry to say I sanction him. I don't want him to talk. And I don't want anybody to baby cry on me here because I am not prepared to babysit a grown up here like Samson Brown told here from Total in Sacramento. The liberal progressive, good evening.
Good evening, Mr. Toll.
Oh,
good evening, Mr. Soul. That's a wonderful program again tonight. Mr. Wheeler, thank you. Thank you for joining us again this evening. It's a wonderful show. Mr. Soul, look, if LPR cannot find good show to bring to the audience, please don't waste our time with this petty politics show stuff here. This is just nothing. Now, Mr. Soul, these people were duly elected. The money that we're talking about, it does not pass the smell test. I understand that. But is it illegal? I don't agree with it. However, I think this Liberia, these are kinds of things that make me progressive liberal, make me feel proud to be a Liberian. I think Liberians and the young people are coming to an age to look at money going into a senator pocket or senator cover to do whatever, and people are crying to say this is not right. This is what we mean by citizen engagement. This is what I want, and this is what I expect, and this is what I enjoy. However, but for us to make this into a show as though somebody has stolen money, Senator Dillon is a light who is shining the light on the entire process. If it wasn't for Senator Dillon, all of the sedition senator would have just wiped their mouth clean and we would have known nothing about it. But because of the light, because when the money got into the light, he said, what happened here? Folks, here's the money. The light is shining. Now, the process itself, Senator Dillon, he's in a group setting. And usually you allow the group to prevail sometime. So if the senator is coming out to say, look, I want this money to be used for library, That's good. But look at this kind of idiotic responsibility from these so-called government agency that's supposed to be responsible. When a man suggested giving them the money, they talk about, no, we don't want the money. They send a letter out. This is CDC running hallmark. CDC need to be held responsible for these kinds of intake where they're trying to bring Senator Dillon to public ridicule, and we will not accept it, and we will not allow it. This is going back to CDC because the CDC themselves were going to wipe their mouth. If it wasn't for the light of Senator Dillon, we would have known nothing about this. So let us all sit down and congratulate the strong and light senator from Moserato County, Mr. So.
This is one of the highest, most at the Mount Kilimanjaro say is it doesn't have a high. Hypocrisy at the higher levels in politics from this something tall guy here. And I know very well his own conscience is not even serving him right. That's why he came out, he started calling me Mr. Todd. I'm not Mr. Todd. He forgot his name. He forgot his own name. Because this is the bone in their esophagus. And that's the danger of the Liberian politics. For those of you that align with these politicians, your inability to call them out to say, this is wrong, even though I support you. But this is wrong. It is absurd. It is not good for our country. You want to tell me here the light is still burning? I say shining? What? How many kilowatts? Something told.
The light from the Senate of Senator Dillon can never be extinguished. You can't put that light up. And no amount of water in Liberia that can put that light up. Let me let you all know right now that the first thing, Senator Dillon, you can call me whatever name you want to call me, Mr. Soul, because we know what this whole thing is about. So CDC want to prevail. And so many of you are there to carry the torch of CDC.
When you say CDC, what?
Because the sedition, look at the kind of letter that came from the people who are responsible to carry out the project on behalf of the legislature.
So are you saying the statement by Alexander Cummings give the money back?
I see Alexander Cummings comment. That's fine. Alexander Cummings, his comment is legitimate. But I'm saying on the
it's your sedition because you guys began to exercising.
No. Mr. Cummings' comment is in place. That's fine. That's what makes Liberia the beautiful place. And I bet you, if Liberia continue with this route, now I'm going to say something here that perhaps I'm getting ready to put foot in my own mouth. But on this president, to have this much freedom, to have this, oh my goodness, am I saying this? Well, I got to be truthful. On this president, to have this much freedom for people to say and speak their mind, it's a wonderful, wonderful thing. And as a result of that, as Liberians gravitate towards this kind of freedom of speech, you will find the politics in Liberia will sooner or later going to be clean. Because Liberians
I am not going to allow you to change my talking point here. Don't be roaming all around here like a wild geese or like a renegade soldier. I'm going to play it. He's the person so far speaking out publicly. There are other people been talking here. Edwin Snow wrote ridiculous comments. All of them, they are awesome. But let me just go back to the Honorable Senator type press briefings and let's listen to some of his point.
That land would not be in my name. It would be in the name of Moserato County, and it would become a property of the county. I'm prepared to transfer that money today, tonight, tomorrow morning, at any time. But I will do so after my consultation with Liz. I will do so because we want to account for the money. And now that the public is...
You are dead wrong, Senator. I thought you were upset after consultation with my constituent. It wasn't Liz that elected you. Liz is a supplementary arm of the government. You're not taking it, but you're going to give it to Liz. Let's listen here. Oh, my goodness. These people have said over and over, our politicians, they need advisors, policies advisors, different types of advisors. Let's listen to his argument here.
Unhappy with what we do and how we do it, it's time for us to go back to the drawing board to do it the right way. It will take courage. It will take more.
Whoa, 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 whoa. It's time to go back to the drawing board, even though it's in your hand. You're going to build a library. I'm not sure what's going to happen after you shall no longer a senator. What going to be the fate of that library? I don't know whether they are having a conversation, whether to strengthen and solidify our institution instead of them having their own NGOs and what have you. Let's listen more here.
Agents of change. And so we just want to let you know that we have followed your views, we have followed your concerns. We too, we are concerned. If we hurt you by taking this money.
Yes, he has alluded if we hurt you by taking this money, yeah, we are already hurt. We are already hurt because and the reasons the focus has been on here is the context in which he has presented himself, and why people will say, why is he? Yes. And so I'm wondering here, I'm going to come to it, and I will put that question out to the liberal. He should be the one to answer her, but let us just play. You can take that flag and wrap it around your neck, and when you get choked, I just take you off the string. Your woman will call 911 in Sacramento. That's your business. Let's just go back to this tape.
We are sorry, but the money was not taken with no intent for me to go to Ghana with it. The people are suffering. The country, the people need attention. We know that.
What did I hear? We are sorry. Was that a word I was used? Something to you heard that? Okay.
You're asking me the question, Mr. So.
Okay, I know you have become an artificial bobo. Let's listen.
But when our public, when our action will bring something positive to our people, then let's achieve it. I think the public library, the size may not matter, but something done to give Monserrato County a public library, not for books, or you can digitalize it. We have already gotten commitment from some of our friends and organizations, home and abroad, to start to donate computers so that we can digitalize the place when it is done and concluded. $15,000 probably may not be enough to construct and complete a public library, but $15,000.
This is the Liberia Public Radio, putting it into context with play-by-play analysis. Okay, the Libra.
Mr. So.
Let me hold on one second. Widow, you want to adjust your camera?
Yes, yeah.
Adjust your camera. Okay, good. Okay, let me just bring you in there to the second segment. We're going to be playing it bit by bit here to dissect and take out the good ones and see those ones that worth put in the Liberian economy or whatever we can do with. You listen to the senator, your thoughts.
Look, Mr. So, my thought is the senator is struggling for words. He's trying to do what we call damage control. While he's saying sorry, at the same time he's saying he's going to disappoint other people. I think what needs to happen is that the senator should to muster the courage, I think, to actually apologize to the Liberian people for deceiving them, because what he has done is a deceit in itself. And for those who still support this senator in this journey, I just wanted to talk to you shortly. The senator always told us about what we call system. If you listen to the senator's speech, every time he talks about system, is a system. By using the money that was given to you to build a public library, how does that fit into the system of the country? Is it in the national budget? No, but you are building it just the same way other senators are building things around. That is not system. Look, I think people should now be able to recognize that the senator managed to cajole his way into the Senate without having any idea, but just criticizing. And because he criticized everything, people thought he had ideas. But criticism does not in any way determines that you have an idea of what you are criticizing or how to fix it. This senator is struggling. I think today, if you have listened to the Spoon Show, people, they were talking about he getting people to advise him. You know what? It is time for the senator to actually take a back step and try to reassess the challenge that his friends are facing in the legislature. Look, I don't want anybody getting me wrong to say the Senate or the legislature is perfect. No, it's way beyond that. We've gone past that. We know that it's not perfect. It's a lot of work needs to be done. But however, here is the thing: there are challenges that those people face in the house because our culture in Liberia, where we will go to the big man for everything, affects those people. But the senator sitting in his own little house did not recognize all of those challenges. All he came up to do was to criticize everything. Now he's seated there. He sees that his house is full of people. He sees that all these things are happening. He wants the money. And the commitment he made now cannot fit into the plan. So he's struggling for ideas. He's struggling for everything. And this is not system. There is something that he needs to reassess.
Okay, folks, followers, your comments will be displayed. Whether it fall again, you have the right to express your view, your opinion, as long as it's within the purview of our network. It does not infringe on anything here. That's fine. Okay, so let me bring in the liberal. You heard Widow saying the senator is struggling. When the word struggling is being used, he's finding it difficult to get his thought process into place, to mend his words, and probably he's being choked. Do you agree with Widow?
Laughable. This is the CDC Widow who supports CDC, strongly supports CDC, and this is the same CDC finance minister that was telling the Liberian people that they're going to increase the salary of or not going to mix with the salary of the legislature, so the Liberian people can go and beg the legislature for their money. Is that somebody that will come and try to lecture us about not having us talking about system? Look, Mr. Mr. Widow, let's take this different step. If this has not been Senator Dillon's in this election, in this Senate, you will have not known about this money. Number one.
Why you don't know about don't hurt you. We did not know. It did not hurt us. Now we know. What is he doing?
Listen to this. Where the life you enjoy life. And you're telling me that if you don't know, it's not going to hurt. So, see, why CDC continue to take the money they want to take? Because we don't know it don't hurt. See, come on, Mr. Weeder. Don't do this to us on this public forum. What do you mean you don't know it, you don't hurt? That's why Senator Dillon will continue to tell people so that you will know it. And if you hurt, you talk about it. Now, Mr. Senator Dillon is not missing words. Senator Dillon is not struggling. What is happening here is this. Senator Dillon has made himself available to all Liberians, accessible to all Liberians in terms of information. Now, Senator Dillon, whatever mistake that was made, and I'm not here to try to justify or defend Senator Dillon, that's not the point. But whatever mistake Liberian people or his supporter might think that he's made, he can have that resolved with his supporters. Simple as that. But that does not mean Senator Dillon is going to be quiet. Senator Dillon is going to continue to shine the light so people like Wida will understand that people are stealing the Liberian people money so that people will be hurt. Now he's telling us here in public that what we don't know don't hurt us. Wida, you planning to be a representative from Lafayette County or a minister someday, because I'm highly educated as you are. Is that the kind of idea you're going to take to Liberia? Let me know, because when you're in Liberia, they are stay here in America. Well,
Mr. Tu, I got to elaborate on that.
Yeah, okay, 30 seconds, because I got to follow up.
Yeah, thank you. And here's what I want to say to that. Look, the senator is saying that the money is legal. What is legal is not criminal. So what is the force about it? It's legal. So if something is legal and you don't know about it, it doesn't hurt you. Something that is illegal and you got to know about it, then it becomes a problem. But if this senator is arguing that this is legal and you want to expose legal things, what the heck? sorry for using the word, but what are we here for?
I don't think it's not.
Yeah. What are we here for? If something is legal and want to expose something that is legal, the senator has never unearthed any brown envelope that went into the place there to approve any bill. No. He's there and he's shining a light on what is legal. Is that what we're here for? Is that what people voted for him for? No. So if the senator is now arguing that the $15,000 is legal, then why do we need to know about legal things? We want to know about what is bad that is happening, but if it's good, why should we even report on it? So if we don't know what is legal, I mean, it's not a problem. That's what I'm
so let me expand on that. That seems to be a little bit of a rhetorical question here. But before I come to that here, I saw the liberal.
Yes.
Let me use his words, and I see it a lot of reaction here. My own Mr. Bendy said, Mr. So why focus so much on Senator Dillon? What about the other senator from the county? That's a valid question, but here is the deal.
Mm-hmm.
When you have someone that is projected or seems to be the person to turn the wheel. I had an interview with this brother before, prior he becoming a senator, and I extremely admire him. But this is what some of us on the other far end have been saying. These people, and not just only him, politicians, our state actors, they need an advisors. They need to have people to talk to take decisions. Okay, wait a minute. I'm wondering, out of the 103, so let's make them conclusive here to be them part of the whole year. But I'm saying his vocabness, his ability to unearth, to get things out there. When you guys say, okay, I take this here, it has been there, like what Widow said, and I agree with him. He's not a guy that I usually agree with. But when something is legal, then you don't need to provide explanation because it's there. Then being quiet. But when you say I'm taking it, but I want to use it, you still giving some sort of supervision, directions on your way. This is the people that I'm going to give it to. If I were him, I would refuse it and say, hey, send it to these people. And this is why Benedict Alexander Cummings came out. I haven't heard Joseph Boyka and other people. Maybe you will be in the end. Let me ask you this question here, Liberal. Using his own words, a couple of months or maybe a year ago, he called his colleagues, they were spineless. They are thieves, they are this, they are that. Is that applicable to him right now to say he's spineless as well?
Far from it. Far from it, because if you use those words against Senator Dillon, then you are not sincere and then you are not serious. Because he is the backbone. He has a backbone. He has a light. And he is not afraid. Why are we not talking about our own friend, Sir Joseph? Why are we not talking about our own friend, other senators from other places?
Yeah, is the reason why. You and I, there will be one thing that we are trying to bank on here. This CDC government is incompetent, starting with the president, the appointment, and all of these people. And so when I'm looking for the alternative and somebody who professes to be an alternative, I must hold you at high esteem. I expect you to have a conversation. I expect you to take some sagacious decisions along the way. Nobody is infallible.
Mr. So, I hate to bust your bubble.
Yeah, hold on. I will give you a time. I will give you a time. Okay. I will give you a time. You want to stay on course to do this. But when you guys, people like you, Samson told to come and give political justifications of those sort of action and say, oh, yeah, he take it. We didn't know about it, but he told us. Yeah, he told us. It's like Samson told went and took money illegally from Lpr account, even though I was board member. We see consultation. Not a day we will see anything without the board consent. I take it and you say, okay, yeah, Mr. Director, take it. But you know what? Just give me $500 there. Come on. You are embedded. You are either the process, the criminality of whatever I'm going to do. You have either, but yet and still you want to give a justification. So now you are telling me he's not spineless. But these were the things that his folks were doing. This is why we are saying build a political consensus. That would make you, that will establish your legacy. But you guys, you are unable to tell people that you support. For whatever reason, you are in the same part with Widow, who is a sedition as well. But you, when it comes to that, you want to distance yourself. Go ahead.
Mr. So, first of all, please do not try to equate LPR with the great great senator of Liberia, Senator Dillon. Now, Senator Dillon has not taken people money illegally. Let's get that point clear. Senator Dillon's continue to stand above all other senators in our house. It's Senator Dillon that caused you to know how much senators in Liberia are making ever since Charlie King time. This is the first time.
So wait a minute. If we kept going back to this sort of
Mr. So, will you please don't filibuster my statement? Mr. So, please stop filibustering my comment, please. I know you are the host, but these are some of the things you do as a conservative, and you're not going to allow the liberal progressive to educate you about Senator Dillon. Now you're going to try to interrupt me from time to time. Let me try to disabuse you and Mr. Weeder, a seditious Weeder, so that you people will understand where we and the senator, the good senator, is coming from. Now, if it wasn't for the good senator, as I was saying, you won't even be able to know how much the senator then were making. You are going to continue to guess. Now, good and thank Senator Dillon. Now we know. Senator Dillon issue with this money, so-called money, as Mr. Weeder says, is not illegal. That's fine. But Senator Dillon is not stopping there. Now, it might not be illegal, but it's not passing the smell test. And once Senator Dillon felt with himself, wait a minute, this money we're getting, people are hungry. People don't get money. I better make it clear to everybody. I don't want day to pass by before they say, oh, and 2 months ago. No. So he brought it to light to say this is what's happening. What's wrong with that? That's the credibility issue. This is the hallmark of transparency. This is what CDC is lacking. They are not transparent. They are not responsible. And so we got people like Senator Dillon who is so responsible and ready to help you to lead. Now, instead of you to come out here, Mr. Weeder, you as a seditious to congratulate Senator Dillon, now you want to say that he's suffering and that he's struggling, and you're far from it. Far from it. Senator Dillon is comfortable. If Senator Dillon is doing this thing here to educate Liberians, to reinvigorate Liberian, young Liberians, to get involved into politics. Let us be happy that we have people like Senator Dillon in this process.
Okay, Widow, your reaction?
Oh, look, I want to thank Mr. Tu for that lengthy deliberation. But here's what I want to say. In the House of Senate, we got more opposition senators than CDC senators. So what I want to say is that if anything is placed on the books, if the opposition bloc does not agree, it will not pass. This money was put into the budget by the legislature. These people agreed upon this money that should be placed there for them. And what I want to ask is that if the senator believes in what he calls system, that the system should work for the people, not individual senators working to develop any part of Liberia because it's not their work. That's why he campaigned on. He said he's going there to make the system work. If this system is going to work, is bidding or library by a senator part of the system that works? No, it's not. And I understand that we will support our base, you know, where we come from. But I'm not here to support the CDC base. I'm here to talk for Liberia. Because even though I'm from the CDC or I'm a supporter of the CDC, I also know that Liberia matters to every one of us. So when we are talking about things that are concerned nationally, we should be able to make the case for a country that needs a lot of help. We got a very small budget. If we're going to take almost $3 million from there for the legislature, what do we have there to do other things? I think this is what is hurting our country. It's saying that you don't knew that the allowances his friends were getting, or even the salary was too much, and did not figure out that when he's going to visit the constituents, he had to use money. And he's now talking about, you expect me to use my own money, my pay to go to Sonumia or somewhere. I think it's belated. The senator should have known that before you go to visit these people, our Liberian people, they say the stranger that comes, that the stranger that brings blessing. For my vernacular, that's what they say. Stranger come and bring blessings. If you go visit the people, you must carry something. The senator did not know that you were going to carry something there. or he thought his friends were just making fun. So the thing is that the senator is struggling, and we understand the struggle because it's real. He does not understand the workings of the Liberian politics, even though he has been there for all this time. All he needs to do now is to take that money, take it back to the government of covers to make sure that it helps the system that he continues to campaign for the system to work for Liberia. So I don't agree with Mr. Toe. I think Mr. Toe is also joining the senator to struggle here for a case to make to the Liberian people.
Okay, let's get a little more of the senator interview. And then we can have a conversation, and hopefully we're going to pick up phone call as well.
The location of the land, the parcel, the quantity. If we took at least 3,000 to 4,000 to buy the land, probated and everything, the balance 11 or $10,000 can start something, and then on the basis of that, we can do lobbying and with friends, and so that we can complete it. It doesn't have to be a giant size place. It just has to be modernized with the necessary equipment and technology. And so we just wanted to pass this by you to say thank you for the time and patience. And we want to say to our supporters home and abroad, we don't intend to hurt you or let you down. We are humans as well. We pick up from wherever we may slip. Not intentionally, not with any intent to do otherwise. Sometimes you have good intentions, sometimes you end up bad. It doesn't mean that your intention or motive was bad.
Well,
so thank you. We're sorry to our supporters who may feel let down by this decision, but I'm sure in the long run, when we can succeed in doing this public library through lists or the institutions of government so that we can trace this money and account for it, in keeping with transparency and accountability, that at that time, probably some people who are frowning at us today will appreciate our decision. Thank you and God bless you.
So with the permission of the senator, we'll take just 2 questions because of time. 2 questions.
Yeah.
We'll take Front Page Africa, and then we'll take you from the back there. Just 2 questions. Please just call us your name. The time is fast spent.
Senator, so we have limited questions. I will just double my questions. Now, you already have a project ongoing, which is quote unquote being funded by you from the legal salary.
Right.
Now, this is another project, and you've earmarked, that kick up, that this might implement. Even if this project is implemented, in terms of continuity maintenance, this 15,000 might not come always. How do you intend to continue the construction, the completion, the maintenance? Then my last question is, the ANC has urged all CPB members to return the 50K. Will you abide by that request amended from the ANC?
I think the statement from the ANC appears to be good, except that maybe it was not really informed. So I will leave it at that. ANC get lawmakers here, they will decide so. But they are part of CPP. We are concerned about parties issuing statements without having the respect and courtesy to ask their lawmakers as to what you did, why. Maybe they can be informed. But we respect the statement from ANC, especially the ones that are calling and joining our call for the audit of this legislature. And anything that promotes the spirit of integrity and good governance and transparency, we will continue to be supportive. I'm careful not to mix public money with private personal money. Yes, there's $30,000 allotted under this budget item. Now, only $15,000 were made available. There's a balance of $15,000. Now, the way the public fell on, I don't know what I'm gonna tell out of $15,000, but the fact that I can take this one.
This is the Liberia Public Radio bringing you analysis in the post-nut context. Okay, little bit progressive. Here we are again. I don't know whether the public vests with or whether we might take this money, whether it's been a little bit indecisive. I listened to him, the connotation, and it's so sad. Our Liberian people is like most of the people behave like a cockroach until they go into the barrel and get drawn into it. They do not have the guts to honestly advise to talk to their leaders. No one is infallible. But the disingenuousness of our Liberian politicians from both sides, their inability to even say, to apologize, to say, I'm sorry because of it. I have gone wrong on this one. They don't do it. They always take a defensive position, and that's how their supporters behave. And he understands that very well. If you listen to him keenly, the connotations of the words, the language, the body language itself, he knows he slipped on that one. But yeah, we have people like Samson Toll, who is saying he's a Liberty Party based in the USA. I had a 2 hours interview with Senator Dillon. And from all indications of what I listened to and what I've sensed out, professionally listening to his word point by point, he knew there was a mistake. And the reason his name is being called because he's being seen as a redeemer. So I am concerned as a Liberian that when something is not right going on, I feel that he's being contaminated by some of his partisans and some of the seditions. Nyombi Kanga Lawrence, the Sir Joseph, how do you call them? What's your party chairman? The guy who the other day were eating crow. Your former party chairman, what's his name? Talk to me, you're liberal. Is that Steve Zacko?
Steve Zacko, it is.
Yeah, and the other man who has already embarked on a political gaming, who is trying to, because he wants to be vice president, he's trying to solidify his position. Evan Snow, all of these people here. Then I have that sort of fright in me that, wait a minute, somebody is trying to mess time with the law. And I'm trying to be very honest and candid. I don't, not to appease people. We don't do amusement here. We don't entertain here. We say it as it is. And you listen to the senator. He knows that he has erred. So, Liberal, let me ask you. The former collaboration. Now he's giving the collab. And that's what I've said this before. The essence of a collaboration is to be in one accord. But now he's telling the ANC people to talk to their ANC people because he appears to be good, but not informed. Not informed of what? So are they telling us we are looking at them because of the bad governance aspect of George Whittier folks, and they are trying to follow the same model, they are trying to follow the same style? We shouldn't question them because we did not question enough CDC, or because Helen Johnson Sirleaf and other people passed on with other things. So we should not bring into questionings the behavior of these people here. The Liberal, talk to me here.
Mr. So,
will you agree with him? Will you agree with Alexander Cummings that not only Dillon, all of these people here, Cummings does not have authority over the sedition. He's trying to build they are trying to build a political career in which they will argue to the Liberian people, hey, we saw this was bad and we're not part and parcel of this. These are the people that did it. That's how you build your argument. That's how you build your political argument. But he's now cutting, he's slashing the bread here now. He needs to talk to his ANC people. Will you take that money back? I don't think so.
Mr. So, I think having heard you or having heard the tape, I think you missed the point, and you miss it by miles.
Wow, here we go.
Now, Mr. Not just you, but you and Mr. Wheeler, and that's why I'm here tonight, to help you guys guide your thought and guide you in this process. That's what a Liberal.
I will be putting it. Go ahead, the Liberal.
Yes, and that's why the Liberal is supposed to do, and that's what I'm here to do. Now, you listen to Senator Dillon. Obviously, this is legal. We all know that. But even Senator Dillon himself was not quite happy the way the whole thing went down.
Why he's not happy?
Mr. So, please don't filibuster mine.
People rejected the money. If you are not happy.
Why you guys? You see, this is what you guys do. And this is the
no, we are having a conversation. He said he's not.
You can't have a conversation when you let Wheeler speak all by himself without any questioning and whatever. So, and then now when it's time for me, now you want to have a conversation. It seemed to me that Mr. Wheeler has wooed you or cajoled you on his side, and I'm not going to be missing my word here.
Mr. Jabo, we are opening the line here very soon. Go ahead, Samson.
Mr. So the point that I'm trying to make, and you guys keep interrupting, is this. Senator Dillon is not quite happy with the way the entire situation happened. So he came out publicly and take responsibility. And then not only did he take responsibility, but he's also concerned about the future endeavor with his people. You heard that. Mr. So, there's nothing here to bark on. Let's leave this train, let it go. Let's find another subject matter, please. This is nothing. Senator Dillon is not using the money for himself. Senator Dillon is not using the money for himself. Senator Dillon is using the money for the Liberian poor, for the people who really need it, and that's what he's suggesting. So please, let us know. Your other senator from Grand Virginia County, senator from other county, have they ever talked to you about the money? No. Are they going to tell us what's going to happen to the 15,000? No. Because they feel it's illegal, so they're going to do whatever they want to do with it. These are people you need to question. How are you going to now try to make this single person your single show tonight, the person who is saying, I'm going to take the money and donate it to the community? Now you're going to go after that person. So you're going after people like Senator Joseph, Senator Sherman from whatever county he's coming from. You're supposed to go after them because they're not telling you something. Mr.
First of all, people Vanish Sherman, they are inductees. He one of the person that so wait, let me ask you. We're going to be opening the line here. He said, "What was your word? He's not what happy? Is that what he says, Mr. To?
Yes, he's not happy. He's not happy.
Why was he not happy?
Because, Mr. So, it was like I tell you, friend, take something that are legal, they cannot pass a smell test. And Mr. Dillon recognized that. It's legal to take the money. However, he's supposed to be, first of all, consulting with his people to say this is the amount of money. And did he
do that?
No, he didn't. And that's why he took responsibility. He said, I take full responsibility. The buck stopped with him.
You heard him saying that in this.
When was the last time you heard President Weah say the buck stopped with me? When was the last time you heard not even Mr. Weah, who's here, would tell us that the buck stopped with him? He keeps passing on the bucks from one person to another. Please.
You people, the oppositions and whatever, we also have to hold you at high extent. All right, I'm going to put that out. I'm not talking about George Weah. George Weah and CDC government will know exactly what is already going on here. But if you are coming to also be an alternative, all right, we must also ask these critical questions.
What do you mean we're coming to be an alternative? We are an alternative. What do you mean we're coming to be? We are. Mr. So please watch your language when you're describing the opposition, please.
Wow, this is unbelievable. I wonder what are the... Okay, folks, let me open the line here. Yeah, go ahead, Widow. Let me open
the so the thing is, I understand the struggle Mr. To is going through, and it's real because I've been there. I know what it is when you are trying to defend something that is defenseless. You know, you become very, you are
defend. You have also right.
Oh yeah. I've defended some things that I know. Like in a debate, I attended school debate and a lot of debates, and I defended sides that I knew.
Mr. Wheeler, this is not school debate. This is life.
It's very similar. That's why
it's helping people to survive. Please don't equate that with school debate.
Mr. To, I understand, and that's what I'm saying. When you go to school, you get trained for the real world. You know, whether it's sometimes superficial, it becomes something that you can build on. That's why I'm saying that I've been there. But what I want to say is that, look, the senator who I rejected this morning, just like the member of parliament in Uganda, what he did, Bobby Wine rejected the 20 million that was given to him. He rejected it and said, look, he said, my people, they elected me here to make law, to represent them, and to hold their government accountable. They did not send me here to get money to go and build things. Like the senator said, he said the legislature or the senators, they are not people who are supposed to build anything. That's why he said they are not supposed to build anything. There are 3 cardinal responsibilities, and that's what I'm going to do. But now he's deviating, and I see people who support him. They are now holding him accountable for deviating from that. He started with was Zoko accommodation. He said he's still building it. Now he's going to another one that he's talking about the library. And I don't know what that to you guys, that is not contradiction. Then I don't know what it is.
Okay, well, folks, we always give you their voice so that your voices will be heard right here as long as it meets the standard of our network here. The number to call here for international callers, if you want to participate, is 682-433-8802. It's also available on WhatsApp, just in case you are calling outside of US. Let me go to our first caller here, 612, coming in here. 612, number 3168. Caller, good evening. What's your name and where are you calling from?
Yeah, this is Terry calling from Minnesota.
Terry, welcome to the show. Go ahead.
Yeah, Mr. So I think we need to be very honest with ourselves. I think the Labour Progressive just need to be honest and say the truth. All right, and the truth will not hurt. Well, we need to understand that the senator made a mistake because, first of all, this particular budget was discussed. The senator had been having his podcast many times over, and he never made mention of this money until the money came. That is the first deception. All right. And the reason why many people lashing at him is because he said he was going to be the light.
Mm-hmm. Hold on.
The light shining on him.
And the economy was in the toilet. The government was so corrupt. So what is this? This is just a test. And I believe that this government did it intentionally to weaken his position as being the light that he clearly was. All right? Because he's not again. Now, we need to also establish that I said something before that the first mistake the senator made that made me to lose credibility in him was when he took that car. The first time when he took that car, that was the sign that the senator would make more blunder. Times on the show, because you cannot condemn something and then when it comes to you, then you take it and go and justify to give proof that the reason why you took it after you've been condemning that particular action for many months. So I think we need to all recognize that more to come. This is just the beginning. I think that more of this is in the senator, and you're going to prove it over time.
Okay. All right. Hold on.
Very tempting.
Okay. Let's keep it succinct. Let me go to this other number. 267 number 5983. Caller, good evening. What's your name and where you calling from?
Yeah, Lodi, how you doing? This is Bob Dino calling from the city of Cedar Rapids in Iowa.
Good. Go ahead.
Yeah. Thank you ever so much for the good presentation. I know what you're making. Let me put in like with Palava with the Labor today. What did Labor saying that?
My country, not directly with Labor, but I feel my country is being burned out. Labor,
I see you calling him names. I see you calling us names. Let me put it that way. First of all, let me say this. This money have been in existence since 2016. Since President Weah took over, the money have not been given to the various senators. And let me come up point blank to say this. As a student of history and ones who did history, mainly American history, you see, government works in so many ways. The trillions of dollars and will receive 1,400 in this country. Other representatives and senators lobbied for their country or for their state. They give it to them. And they use it for the purpose in which they give it to them. But you know, in Liberia, we've been blind for so long, Alfonso. Mr. So we've been blind.
Let's speed it up here a little bit. Somebody else is waiting.
Some of those things we are now occurring to what's happening in the parliament. But all of those things is there for senators to use. Mr. So you will not go and work and don't have nothing to do outside there out of your salary. Although they think been there, according to Senator DeLong, it been there for 3 months. He should have come up and say, we having such a thing like this. Liberian people, what can we do as usual? But he said it today. Everybody, to every human that is hurt. Everybody made mistakes. And I heard my brother saying he lose confidence.
So then why not? So
okay,
yeah. So then why not? Even when the mistake is made, why not people who supported, even like he comes out cleanly and acknowledge this is what happened, and people try to give justification of that. That's why it's absurd.
Who knew? Who, Mr. So, you are a journalist, Mr. So, you worked in government before. Who knew about this 15,000?
It's not a matter of who knew. It's the same crime we are talking about. When crime is committed,
he came out, Mr. He came out.
So it's the problem. So yeah, so brother, it's the problem. And it's been he's been double. Okay, go ahead. Let me.
Other people are pounding on the law.
So what's wrong with that? When people pound on the law, is a senator for the people.
Say that again.
He's the people's senator. He's an elected official.
Okay.
They are not putting him on firing squad.
Senator. Why other senators? Why? Okay, let me take this for example. Why are you not pounding on Zopeno? Why are you not pounding on Zopeno?
Zopeno has never from time. And yeah, is the thing. You asked me a question before I go to the next. Listen to me. Listen to me. Listen to me. You asked a question. Listen. You guys always make ridiculous argument and that sort of way of supporting people. You all are helping to get our country to drown into. Zopeno has never. Listen to me. You ask a question. Zopeno is one of those who is never willing to speak out. So he one of those. So somebody who is already in that category, who is unwilling to address things. When I see somebody who is more or less interest of the country and going ahead, I must be able to talk about it and direct that person. But when you are giving a backup justification, why does not do that? He had been there 4 or 5 years ago. Come on, give me a break. Is that how you saying something? That's how your senator then lobby?
Every human, so you yourself, you can make mistakes.
Absolutely. So what is the point when that mistake is made, when people talking, why can't he put it to rest?
Okay. He came out today, he came out yesterday and said the same thing. He said this money, I am not going to give it back. I am going to take this money and do something for Monserrato County.
Okay.
And he came out today again and explained the same thing.
I don't. All right, that's your. I respect your opinion. I respect your view. It's been circumvented. The how I see it, as long as he giving direction as to how the money should be used. Is not right. Okay, let me go to this number here.
I'm not that biased yet.
401.
I'm not that biased. I'm telling you the truth.
I understand that's the truth, and I'm just saying my side of it. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
401 number 5788. Caller, are you there? What's your name and where are you calling from?
This is Paul Jabo. I call from Rhode Island.
Welcome, Paul. Go ahead.
Mr. So and Mr. Wida and the Progressive. I greet you all. First of all, I am very much disappointed in both Mr. So and Mr. Wida, more especially Mr. Wida. And this is why I'm very much disappointed. You see, let us not thwart the right. Let us not thwart the right thing. Let us not thwart what's supposed to be done properly, and we see and turn a blind eye. Okay, let me start from the budget. The budget is a law. Once it is passed, everything, every line item in the budget becomes a law because it is formulated, it is appropriated, and it is allotted. That's the final stage through disbursement. So when the budget goes through formulation stage, appropriation, and then approved, it becomes a legal instrument of any nation in the world. It becomes a law. So whatever that comes out of the budget for any line item, it is legal. The only problem we have when it is wrongly used and people are not
When you say,
able
okay,
to.
let me engage you a little bit. When you say wrongly use, what is the tool of measurement that you are talking about? Which one is right? Which one is
Very
wrong?
good, very good. When it is disbursed, when it is disbursed for a project, and then you divert that funding from that project to
What is the
another
project?
project.
What is the
For
project?
example, I'm going to be hypothetical. For example, right?
Mhm.
If $15,000 is placed in a budget for Paul Jebel to build a school as a, an operational fund that was ensured in a budget for Paul Jebel as a lawmaker for District 8 to build a school, a 10-bedroom school, and that 15,000 is allotted. When I took the, and then the 15,000 is disbursed. After allotment is disbursed, I receive the cash. I divert the cash from the operation of the school construction to servicing my vehicle or to facilitating a foreign travel. It is
Okay.
misappropriated. It
Okay.
is
In 30
unaccounted for. That
seconds, so I will
is
go to my guy
wrongly.
quickly.
No, you don't give me 30 seconds because I have
No,
detailed information
I'm not gonna.
for
I'm
you.
not. Listen, I'm not conducting an extra interview with you. I just want you to make your point, and then we're going to continue the show because somebody also on hold.
Yeah. So my own disappointment in the both of you is that George Weeder seated there supporting the government extravagant spending is not able to speak to his lawmaker like Sir Joseph, like Akara Gray, like Zoe Emmanuel Peno. He's not able to speak to those people, but the one who was able to unveil the healing, transaction. I call it healing transaction because the budget is not open to the public like it was done on LA where we have the open budget initiative. Every citizen will be able to see in the budget. And when the budget was being discussed and debated, in fact, it was not open. So the lawmaker passed and approved a bland budget.
Paul, in 10 seconds, I have to go. Wrap up your point, please.
So I am saying bashing Senator Dillon, who is doing his best out of 103 lawmakers, who is doing his best. Let me just focus at the Senate. Out of 20 person, you have one man is doing his best, and everybody fighting hard for this man to be corrupted, for him to be tinted. I mean, it's unbelievable when George Miller sits in the studio and is not able to speak to the ill that his government is raging on our people. It's so sad.
Okay.
I mean, I'm so disappointed.
All right. Thank you so much. Sarah, make your last point before I go back to my panelists.
Yeah, you see, that is the reason why Mr. So Liberia will always have problems. Because we seem to love our leaders more than looking at the problem in the country. You're talking about George Weah leadership. Everybody knows that there are corruption in the government. But the reason why the senator has failed is because the senator has been the one telling the Liberian people that the economy is in the toilet and how corrupt this leadership is. And there is no need to take more than 15,000. There is no need to take more than 15,000. I mean, more than 5,000 as a salary.
Hello?
Hello?
Yeah, you got to lower your monitor, please.
We're not shifting blame on Joria leadership. This is not a time where we have to shift blame. We're looking at what the senator is doing now. And that has been a real problem. The moment you start to talk, they will start to shift blame. What about the other senators? What the other senators have not been saying that the economy is in the toilet. The other senators have not said that it is enough for each senator to carry 5,000.
Okay.
No senator have complained. So why should these people be trying to justify Darius Dillon when they know very well that this thing we have done is wrong? Let us be truthful to ourselves.
Okay. Terry, thank you so much.
Mr.
Let me go.
Me.
All right. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Let me go to the other number. Call out. What's your name?
This is James Day calling from Harrisburg, Pennsylvania.
Welcome. Go ahead, buddy.
Yeah, I just want to say, to be clear on the point, if we want to talk to all the senators, they'll conclude with all of them. Nobody calls specific senator because all of them receive the money.
Right.
And among those senators, we get two pastors, Sir Joseph and Prince Joseph.
They
So
are?
those two senators, they are corrupt. The president of God, then I don't know where the two people are going to be pointing at me. What about the serving for the pastor? The pastor. The serving for so that the two people they're going to be focusing on. That's the pastor. Prince Joseph la pastor. Sir Joseph la pastor. So they want to tell you they be collecting corrupt money like the people going to be talking to.
Okay. Oh my goodness. You real blooded day of it. Okay, the pastor, I hope that if you didn't put that in the offering back. Okay, go ahead. You done? Okay, so okay. The liberal, the message will focus on the pastor. But look, yeah, it is. And look, okay, let me pick the Delaware call here, and I'm gonna come back to you guys. Hello, caller.
How you doing?
Good. What's your name and where you calling from?
My name is Bryson Harris, and I'm calling from Minnesota.
Minnesota. Okay, could be I'm wrong. Go ahead. Make your point.
Yes, sir. I just have one or two questions. My question to this money issue is, what are we looking for, the end result, or what has transpired in the past? Why did I ask this question? Why it is true that Delon made all of these comments before that, whatever financial transaction he received, he will broadcast it, he will announce it to the public. Well, this time he did not. I don't support that, but if he received the money and said he's going to use it for the public, for Monterey County, what is the issue? Please, I appreciate if you can just, Mr. Wider can explain to me what is the problem. They said because he said he was going to do this and he didn't do it. Why it is true he received it and try to make it to be useful for our Liberia, for our people in Liberia. What is it? What is the problem? I just want to know, please, just to get an understanding.
Is that Wider you're asking? I don't want to speak for. Is that Wider you're asking? Are you asking me?
Because I think I would say to you, Mr. So and
okay,
Wider,
so
you can answer this
question.
question.
Wider, he can speak for himself, or maybe he can speak from the other side of the world. But here is the issue here. When you say problem, not really a problem, but we've been frowning on system, and it is unfortunate. Sometimes people don't go, and I like the questions you ask. I listened to the senator expose, his interview, right? And from all indication, he knew very well something wasn't right. What is not right is just not right. Okay, if you know it's not right, even though these politicians strategically put that there for the benefit for themselves. You hear, my brother, whatever state you're in, when there is a allotment, your lawmakers, your people, they will tell you. You're going to see what they're going to do with it. They don't get the money before they start telling you, oh, we'll do this and they want leaders. No, there is a plan. There is a plan already in place. If you take it, even though you knew very well, it's not right, looking at how the country is starving, and say, okay, I will take it, but this is what I'm going to do with it. I don't know how you distinguish that, because you are still exercising authority over the money. You agree. You alluded that, okay, this seems not right. I seem to disappoint some of my people. I knew about it. I didn't talk about it. I taken it, but I'm going to give it to leaders and telling them what to do, what not to do. You are still micromanaging. It's not right. That's what we are talking about. Whether it was there, Helen Johnson, Tolita, Samuel Dota, it is time for all of us to frown on this here, for these people to start rationing money among themselves. When you're looking at the JFK, you're looking at other health facility, people, they're not getting anything. So it doesn't matter. But we have to look at the system. We have to look at what is right. And you can support someone that you like politically, but hey, in the interest of the country, we must be able to tell these people, in as much I love you to be my political leader, this is why this other side here, you missed the boat. And let us be apologetic. Let us have a good conscience when we made mistake to say this is what we do it. But everybody seems to have a little bit thin skin because they support this person. When they call their name, it's like you enemy to the person. then if we do that, then we are playing into the hands of the very CDC that we are frowning against. Go ahead, make your quick.
Thank you, sir. I'm sorry, I don't want to take up your time. So what will have happened is maybe those who are taking the money and didn't talk about it.
Which is still also wrong. I don't care what happened. Some days he knew that he was going to come out. It's not an issue. He didn't talk. He talked. If you commit a crime today, and after 10 years, 40 years, you can be arrested. You can be apprehended. It doesn't mean because that crime was committed and you wasn't arrested on that day, so no surveillance is going to be on you. All right. I just want us to understand it is time for us Liberians to be a little bit more Liberians and put aside these people who are not building institutions. We just fall in love with them. We just fall in with their political gaming. I would term it to be that way. And they do things and we just go by it. It is time for us to critically look at all of our politicians. We didn't do that, and this is where we are getting today. And we are moving in the same direction.
Yeah, Mr. So, if I can come in.
Does they go to all of the individuals that
all of them that took the money? And the recent emphasis is being placed on them, like I said, Darrell Dillon is a potential. You know, in a football game or whatever, there are certain players there as a target. Darrell Dillon is a potential presidential, vice presidential, or potential national leaders. He set a high standard. And so when you said that, and when you call names, and this is what some of us have been saying, hey, Senator Dillon, where in as much you disagree with seditions or different people, do not call names. In politics, you build consensus. Because if you stay there for the next year and there is no tangible legislation that can be passed, and this is why people don't get. Why you think people that Ted Kennedy then will remember? Why you think people that John McCain then will remember? There were certain things that they did. Build that political consensus. Even when Sir Joseph is stubborn, when this other person is stubborn, call these people some days line and put them in the spot. Let the people see you as a national leader. That's what we are saying. It's not just all about I support this person and the person do it, you just close your eye to it. I think that is just being disingenuous and being to run to the country. This is why we do not have strong political institutions. We have only individual, and as a result, when these people are faded away, all their whole career, the political institution all dies down. That's what we are saying. He's not a political leader for Liberty Party, but more or less, he's the one people looking up to. So if I were him, I see that he got that sort of reaction. He knows the reaction for that. He knows that very well. It's not right. I won't say, okay, let me give it to these other people here and make decisions. I'm like, you know what? I'm not going to be part of this here. This is not right. This is not in the interest. But when you take it, and I take it, I say, okay, I'm going to give it to you to manage it. I'm still exercising authority. So then how can I distinguish myself from that? That's the point.
So, Mr. So, can I come in?
All right. So let me go back to my guys, the Liberal Progressive. The Liberal, are you there?
I'm here. I'm here. I'm waiting.
Okay, so it's unfortunate, and I think the reaction here and other people, it doesn't go to not only Senator Dillon, but the position he put himself in. And that's why from day one, some of us have been saying, do not name your colleagues, because you need to build that political consensus to solidify, to create a hallmark, to make the difference. Because if you did that and calling them spineless because of things that they were doing yesterday, and you turned around to do almost most likely of the same thing, will you exclude yourself from that category? I don't think so. The Liberal, go ahead.
Mr. So, I feel bad for the process tonight.
Mm-hmm.
You as a commentator and your host, to come out here and then come out so hard against a good senator, I feel bad. However, Mr. So, this is not loving the country, because all of your statement can be debunked easily. So let's take one at a time, Mr. So. Let's take one at a time. Mm-hmm. Senator Dillon has not done anything that you can equate with all of the other corrupt senators. He doesn't need to align himself with the corrupt senators just because he might want something one day. He was elected to be different. And that's exactly what he's doing. Now, Senator Dillon himself spoke about it in one of your videos earlier, where he said he's not happy the way the thing turned out. And that, in fact, he also made it clear that this money was supposed to be 30,000. We have another 15,000 coming. But the way people are claiming against this, I'm not too sure if I will even take the other money. He
So
make
okay, then let me hold you right there.
If people don't talk, you can take it.
Why would you say that he should disavow it?
No, Mr. Stone, listen to me. See, this is what you guys do. You and Mr. Wheeler, now I'm going to
ridiculous here this evening, Mr.
No, Mr. So you and Mr. Wheeler are being the very much the ridiculous far right, not even sedition here tonight. I will consider both of you far right sedition, and therefore I will deal with both of you from that perspective. Well, I'm not even going to come on here now and say this is our host. You want to kick me out? You do that. You sanction me all the time anyway, so I'm not that concerned tonight. Let me come hard on you and Mr. Wheeler. I'm done playing nice with both of you here tonight. I'm done playing nice. Mr. Senator Dillon doesn't need anybody to carry out his function. He was elected to shine the light on the corrupt government official, and that's exactly what he's doing. He's told you, Mr. So, he came out and told you, I'm taking responsibility. Number one, that's transparency. That's the hallmark of a good leader. And you keep saying that's why we keep advising him not to call people. Why should he not call the corruption when it's corrupt? If it's a corrupt behavior, he doesn't need to hide it. He doesn't need to address it in a suit when he knows it's a corrupt behavior. Simple. That's it. Now, in terms of Senator Dillon's having this kinds of situation, he's saying to you, yes, we took the money, but we're not even going to use the money. You go ask the other senator, have they even, all of this noise that we've been making within the last 2 days, Mr. So, the noise we've been making the last 2 days. When was the last time you heard another senator coming out and talk about the money? They all shut their mouth. Nothing you will hear from them. They will use the money the way they want, and they will have no way for you to auditor them. You have no way to know what's going to happen to them. Now, here's the senator who is coming us and telling us what's happening to them. Instead of us to sit down here and sing praises and sing the song and praise Senator Dillon all night, now you and we have a CDC role and try to malign this good senator. I'm not going to sit here and allow you and your man to do that.
You are behaving like Anthony Scaramucci, even one of the Trumpers here. So you are creating a visual political cycle. Okay, I take it, but I can do it. Why can't you have the guts? If I said this is not good, it's just not good. I take it. Then why there must be an apprehension? Okay, the way people are talking today, I'm not even sure whether the next one I want to take it. Take it. You took the first one. You want to exercise authority. Why can't you use guys?
You most likely don't understand the good senator. The senator is telling you, Mr. So, the senator is telling you that, look, I am here to represent people. And this is what I did. Apparently, my people who I represent don't like the idea. That way, I'm not going to do it the next time. That is the hallmark of a good leadership.
You're still not here. You are on a salad dressing here. I'm not a person who, I'm not a salad type here. So you are doing a salad dressing. That is not even for me. First of all, these 103 men that are wearing pants and sky, including your Nyomli Kanga, Lauren, the Sarah Joseph, and all of these people, they just do not have the guts. When this thing has been dead, tell me one of them who have gone to their constituents or constituency to have this sort of conversation.
But that's why you need to come across to us. Senator Dillon, thank you for bringing this thing to light. Many of these people will not bring it to light. Senator Dillon has brought it to light. Why can we not appreciate that?
No, he's part of it. Because he did not have, he never hosted any town hall meeting. He never discussed with his community as to whether this halotme has been dead.
Mr. So you're backing against us on the wrong tree. Senator Dillon have already taken responsibility of the statement you just made. The fact that he wasn't able to consult his constituency before and taking his money, that's why he came out and said, I, Senator Dillon, I take full responsibility.
Let me go to Wheeler.
You want him to do?
Let me go to Wheeler. Big shame on you this evening from this guy from Total.
Your shameness on me doesn't mean anything, because that's the same way Mr. Wheeler, who is a CDC protege, will not come and say shame on Mr. To as well.
The same problem we are facing with CDC potentially when the opposition, they're going to be the worst one. This is why you're pushing people to this presidency to raise another Nathaniel Magee, Samuel Tua, benevolent dictator, and Jefferson Koji. That's why you guys are doing with the Lobos and all of them, pushing people who
we will be better than them. We will be better than Wida and the rest of the CDC group.
Go ahead.
Look, thank you, Mr. So and Mr. To. This is simple. I don't see why Mr. To is ruling, to make a point. I think the senator was.
He's seeking attention, unnecessary attention. He's throwing it this evening. He's
throwing attention, and I don't know why. Well, we'll get to that. But let me just say this: I saw my friend here, Mr. Paul Jebo, who was calling on the phone and talking about me and how shameless I am and whatever he said. Look, here is the thing. I want to know from all of those who are watching, if you think DeLon did not know about this money even 2 months before it came in. I know if you say that, that means you haven't been listening or you don't know what is happening in what happened administratively. He knew about this money. He knew everything that was going to happen. One thing that he did not know is what the money was going to be used for. He himself don't know. Why if there was a library in Monserrato? Why if there was no lady in the hospital who or lady at South Beach who was in prison that Sir Joseph wants to go and free for prison for $2,000? Why will you use the $2,000 for? These people put up money in the budget for themselves and only trying to justify what to do with this money after they receive it. The only reason the public financial management law put in place that before you allocate money for anything, you must know exactly what you're going to use that money for. These guys did not know. What they put in the budget line was engagement and projects. What the heck is that? Nothing. These guys made up this thing, put the money there to think about what to do next. And he said he don't knew this. He did not say anything. He got the money that day and said, oh, and guess what? For breaking news, those who don't know, the first person that brought about that money was Senator Newquay. He wrote about this money before Senator Dillon came out. So whoever is ruling here about Senator Dillon being the light and being all this that he's not, I pity you, because the thing is that if we are not full right with the people that we support, how else will we be full right with anything? Because Senator Dillon knew this money was allocated for some engagement. Without whatever engagement, we don't know. These same people are paid every time, every month. And he said to go and engage his people and projects. Even though he said senators are not people who can build any infrastructure, he was going to make law and stick to lawmaking and oversight and representation as his portfolio. But now he's coming up down because he got money. Or what can I do with the money? But there's no medication. If people are not medicated, if they are not right, we are sick. Can they go to the library? No. Drugs is not in our hospitals. He's taking $15,000 to go and build a library. When every school should have a library.
You know, let me people, it's unfortunate. They are acting like the CDC. They don't even know they don't have a set priorities. That's
they're not having the CDC. They are adding themselves. They are people.
How many librarians can read? They're just like gossip. Let me just take this phone call and then we're gonna be wrapping all year. All right, 267 number. Are you there? Please lower your phone, lower your monitor. Go ahead. 267 number.
Yeah, Mr. So, good evening. How are you?
Great. How are you doing? What's your name and where are you calling from?
I'm Hamilton calling from Pennsylvania.
Okay, welcome from B State. Go ahead.
Yeah, you know, I've been following your show, especially this discussion. You know, I personally supported Dillon in the election, but I think he made a great mistake. But I just want to look at the flip side of the whole issue. The whole issue is not just what is happening. The whole issue derived from the budget.
Yes.
And that's what the people do. Right now, what the people are doing now, the executive and the legislature, they are using the budget as a tool
to exploit our country. Exactly.
Look at, I want you to look at the recap budget, the recent one, the recent budget that they just talk about, the recap budget. Look at it. Look at all allocation. Look at, I mean, just look at the one that they have allocated for period counties, 200,000 for each county. And look at what they have allocated for those, like the foreign ministry, the Ministry of Presidential Affairs, and what have you. And these things are meant, look, what, like the 15,000 was not just, they just place it there and they put that nomenclature as or legislative, whatever they call it.
It was strategically put in there.
Yes, it was a kickback. Now they did that. It was like the executive said, well, we are doing this, and when you do also support us, we'll give you this.
Exactly.
So you can pass the budget. But I want you to know, you see, the thing is, the reason why I agree with people, you know, because they don't came up with a standard. He said, that is what I will be. And, you know, frustratingly, for all to see, you know, trying to flip. Apparently, you know, and you see, this thing is like, these are things that have been happening all the years. Even early time, they have been part of the system. They're part of the system. And this is how those guys get them up. I was listening to someone was telling me today, someone I was working with the finance ministry. The guy said, look, those guys, they will set a budget up and it ask you, maybe the minister for a certain ministry to tell you, look, we're putting this there in the budget, but we want a certain amount.
That's common.
And you have to agree. And those guys will go over to the legislators, they will tell them, look, we're putting this amount there, but we say it will be for this issue, it will be for this one. Just because we know that when the budget is passed, it becomes law. And people will say, well, it's legal, it is not law, and whatsoever.
Okay. So quickly
but
here.
Everything that is legal is correct.
Yeah, so then don't provide explanation.
Let me tell you, when you check the budget, you see a lot of line items that people listed. Most of the things are very unreasonable. Look at, I mean, just think about just a whole country. Let's take, for example, for Montserrat County, that had about almost 1 million plus people, get 200,000. And just look at
so quickly before I go here, you all know, do you want all of these senators from your side, and we respect your view, do you want them to return that money?
Well, I think, yeah, you should, all of them should return the money. And then the thing is that if you love your people, it is not your function for you to go carry on project and whatsoever you get money, then you go say that for my legislative project. You are not the executive. It's not your function. Your function is to make law, make sure that whatever budget you pass, there should be a finance allocated for project that you want for them to execute. You know, make sure that they execute it. You know, ask the executive, make sure that you have an oversight or whatever they're supposed to do. But you don't do it. And he said, oh, that. So the thing is, they need to give back. You need to give a lot of money. And besides that, we need to focus on the budget. Those guys coming with the budget, they get a lot of stuff in it. They say, yes, we'll do this, we'll do that. And I tell you, one of them, one day we have listened to the finance minister say, well, we are carrying on at least to the report on the one budget or whatever the report, whatever we did with the money. Nobody. They only come all the year, they will come and say, oh, we pass the budget. And before you pass the budget, we put something there for you.
Okay.
And they pass it blindly. And then our people, the vast majority of our people suffer.
Thank you so much, my man. Okay, well, it's unfortunate that's the country we find ourselves in, and we expect changes to take place, and we just do not want to be honest. It's not here. For those of you who just saying Senator Dilla, you missed the mark. You seem not to get the real connotations of the conversation that we are talking about.
Exactly.
It's a national issue that we are talking about. And we are talking about someone potentially that could take the higher post of the land. We are talking about someone who has set a high standard. And when that happens, we must hold you up to it until to the day end. So if you are politically or party-driven person, I'm not like one of those. We have called tens, if not all of them, including Senator Boto. But that's what happens when you have a country that is poor and people, everybody's suffering. And when they see that kind of money, it's just difficult to let it go. Yeah. And I know the liberal know, if you're in the States, these people, when your senators, when your people or congressmen, when they are doing things, they have an open discussion. All of those people, when last you saw our senators to have open discussion with their constituencies? They don't. They take action before they can even tell the people, say, our people, our people. Let them put forward their legislative or plan for the term that they are being. I bet any of them to put forward in the next 9 years, this is what I want to achieve. Everything is off record. Everything is off record, and they profess to be transparent. That's the kind of government that we have. The government that we have, the government of Liberia runs on 3 branches, and those 3 branches must be held responsible for simultaneously, especially the first branch of government. When you decide to start making this is what the executive is doing. So, okay, the executive is doing it. We're going to do this. What are you telling me? What are you telling me? What I voted for or against? You are answerable to us. All of them that are involved in this is a disgrace, it's a disaster. They must be ashamed of themselves, and those who think they are seeking political offices, and it's a complete financial neglect, abuse, using their political power to abuse state resources. It's ridiculous. I don't care how you turn your face here this evening, the Laborer. You guys are party driven. And it is sad to see our country to go like this. This is why we're going to be having almost 25 political parties, because it's all about what? Exhibition. They want to show their talent. I feel bad for the country, but we have to talk it. And for those of you that are party driven, so much drowned into your political leaders, I feel bad.
Mr. So, just
before, Sundays, the Laborer are going to come to you guys. I'll be making a point here. I'm going to be having a painful conversation here on Sunday, 4:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I consider her as my hero, Liberia hero, Africa hero, and perhaps the war hero. This is a fine, beautiful young Liberians based in Europe. She is HIV positive. I managed to talk to her today, but she's willing to empty all she has lived with this for the next 10 years or whatever it is. She's going to be having here. We're going to be having her here. Offers bravery, brave Liberian Fatuta. She's going to be coming here. There's a need. She's willing to share her story with Liberia, with Liberians and the rest of the world, what she has gone through, the stigma. But she has managed to survive, and she wants to create that sort of education for our people, the awareness that you can triumph, that you can overcome whatever happened. You can't hold her responsible. I know many of us who came by the way of resettlement, when we're going for blood test, people are drinking Jorobo. You want to clean your blood, you want to do this, you want to do that. All kinds of better things people are drinking, because when you take a reflection, places that you pass, the Laborer, he knows what I'm talking about.
Oh, no, he knows that.
So all of us, the widow, and even our viewers, they knows that. Oh my goodness, this is something. And people read it. We never had time in Africa or Liberia. Very late. You talk about condom, no child. Yeah, you talk about condom. They don't want to use condom. They want to use flesh to flesh and all sort of crazy things. We need to have educational conversation. Sicknesses and things are killing people because of ignorance and because we believe in this tradition is wish. They may well not say, yeah, pass you fall down, so that wish somebody gave it food. All sort of things. This lady Fatu is willing to come forward with a friend, that she's prepared to go to Liberia to share her story. I participated in the program this morning, then I managed to reach out, and the both has agreed in principle to ask all your questions. And when you see her, you won't believe. And I consider her as a giant. I see her as a winner. Because you know why? She didn't allow people to define. She defined herself. And she's doing pretty well. But she's willing. She doesn't want, as she was victim, she don't know where she got it from, but she doesn't want other people to become victim. This is the courage. This is the motivation. People must take genuine responsibility and be able to impact other people's lives. So Sunday 4:30 here, it's gonna be a fireworks. She's in Europe. They're gonna be joining us right here Sunday 4:30 in a painful, reflective, retrospect. You can ask if she's willing to ask any question alone. You're not cursing her. That's not what I want to entertain here, because all of us, we are not clean. It was just by the grace of God we went through here. The Libra, we're going to be signing out here very quickly here. So let's have our final point here before we go.
You are muted.
He muted himself, then he will say, I don't want to do it again. Unmute your mic. He's scared, you see?
Nah, we can hear you.
Okay. All right. Guys, you did it on purpose. You did it on purpose. So there's no question asked. You did it on purpose.
Oh, my goodness. Okay, go ahead quickly.
Mr. So, I want to thank you again, Mr. Weeder. I want to thank you as well.
Thank you.
But before I go on to make my comment, I also want to say congratulations to that young lady, and we encourage her to come because many people might benefit from the kind of conversation hopefully she will have here with you. It's going to be an educational process as well. Now, going back to Senator Dillon's situation, so we're not here to say we condone bad behavior. As far as Senator Dillon is concerned, there's no bad behavior. I would keep saying that he never did anything wrong. Now, what he did might not pass his smell test in terms of his constituencies and what have you. And he has felt the pain. He has felt the pain of his people because everyone continued to speak out about it. And so he knows that these things are not something you can rush to, even if they are legal. You can't just do them. Now, Mr. So, the point here also is that many Liberians are not Liberian of yesterday. We as Liberians, we have the ability now to speak for ourselves. And I keep saying that on every opportunity that I have. We are no longer waiting for BBC, Focus on Africa, Lisbeth Blanc, or other BBC correspondent to come and speak for us. We will now talk for ourselves. We have the ability to do so. And these are some of the platforms that will continue, whether we agree with it or not. Now, what is happening here? Liberians are engaging with their politicians. And I bet you, not only Senator Dillon's going to feel the pain, but many other politicians. This $15,000, it's not going to go down easy with many Liberians. And they might eat it, but they will eat it with pain. And definitely, the other $15,000 that Mr. Dillon, Senator Dillon talked about, they're most likely not going to go get it because Liberian people are tired with that kinds of stuff. And it's all on a very serious note. This is all because Senator Dillon came out and projecting himself to be something. And now Liberians say, well, wait a minute, you told us this. How come this is not? This is how you engage. Senator Dillon didn't hide himself. He recognized it and he took responsibility of his action. In other words, when you take responsibility of your action, you're basically telling the people, I'm sorry, this is my blame. The blame is on me. And without him saying so many words, as long as he intellectually has taken responsibility of his action, let's watch for another time. But let us also use this opportunity as a point of educating ourselves, not to degrade, but of course, coming from you, Mr. Soul, and coming from you, Mr. Weeder, this is what you guys do. Look behind you, Mr. Soul. You're talking about Senator Dillon. Look at the amount of money business behind you. Why you have a money background when you're talking about Liberia?
I am
clean my time. Mr. So, I clean my time, please. I clean my time. You have all that money in your background, and you say Mr. Dillon with money. Why you have all that money in your background? Mr.
Let me tell you.
I am not throwing the floor over to you, please.
15 times 103. That's what approximately that's what I get behind me. So this is not under Dillon's affairs. Okay, thank you so much, Mr. Toll.
I'm not. You're not going to shut me down. You're not going to shut me down, Mr. Toll. Please, please. You can't do this to me.
Okay, 1 minute. We gotta go.
To wrap it up, no, 2 seconds. To wrap it up, Mr. So, please, if you have this opportunity, your platform is one of the widely listened platform. Please try to be as genuine as much as possible if you can. Don't be this biased against the opposition, even though you say you're not a sedition, but you always the way you approach us, we the opposition, the good opposition, we the way you talk about us, the language you use to describe us, as though we are not Liberians. This, my brother, I want to try to help you to disabuse you from such engagement with the opposition. Thank you very much, and you have a wonderful day.
There's no way sedition can accommodate me, because if I were approached to say, okay, maybe you can help our public relation, believe me, 1 hour won't pass and we're going to fall apart, because, I mean, believe me or not, it's not even going to work. We have to be, and that's why that's the principle, that's the standard. You know, the basic training that we have gone through with the National Public Radio, for which we came out with this new Liberia Public Radio, is much deeper. Only very few people know, but it is saddening to you as a commentator. But we give people their way. You are a Liberty Party president, but you claim to be a Liberty USA. We got 1 minute here before I go.
Thank you. Look, again, I just want to say thank you again for having me. You know, it's a wonderful thing to be able to express our views, and we have more than 2 persons listening to us, and I can see on here we got almost 300 people listening to us. I think it's incredible. I think we can use this opportunity to really actually educate our people, and to make sure that we have a really healthy, conversation about our national well-being. So what I want to say is that to those who are so entrenched into this political party propaganda, I want to say it's about time that we take a step back and focus on Liberia. And what I want to say to Mr. So, any patriotic Liberian will be a sedition, because as a sedition, we stay in opposition for 12 years.
Guys, it seems to be like a covenant you guys signed on that tree.
No, not really. The thing is that, look, when you see the dreams and aspiration of the leader, because
let me get out of here with the dream and aspiration.
The thing is that when I listen to President Senator Weir, or George Weir at the time, when he was trying to be the president.
You're struggling now. You said Samson was struggling because that I'm there. You also
I'm not struggling. I'm just trying to be very articulate in what I'm trying to portray here. When he said, I want to make Liberia to look like Monte Carlo. And when I see the city of Monte Carlo and I look at the dreams he had, and I felt that he was joking, you know what I mean? But that was how big a man's dream was. And one of our outstanding speakers said, if your dream is not bigger, than you, then you are not dreaming. And when I saw that dream, I feel like if this guy can get an opportunity, he would do something. Now I can see villagers' huts have been turned into concrete buildings, zinc rounds have been turned into something else. You see that George Weir is doing exactly what he professed he was going to do. Regardless of the difficulties that we are faced with, he's doing something great for Liberia. But yes,
the campaign is 2023. Please.
And I got that. But yes, what I want to say to this, Senator Dillon and the rest of all of the senators, if at all you knew that the Liberian people were suffering, the best thing to have done was to put that money into perspective. We all know that $15,000 or that $30,000 was not put there by the executive. So if anybody here is trying to want us to believe that maybe public works put $30,000 into the budget for senators, it's not true. The senators themselves inserted that money there. They did not have any reason to do that. Because they're receiving pay, they are not doing any projects. They were meant to represent the people and make laws and do oversight of projects. What they did was completely outrageous, and knowing that our economy is in the toilet for them to have taken that money and put it aside and now thinking about what to do with it. And now that they could not use public works or LIS to construct libraries in their various counties, they are thinking about something to do with their money. So they all of a sudden now want to build libraries or want to free people from prison, like Sir Joseph want to free somebody from prison. And
you want to get somebody $2,000. That's what kind of people we have in that country?
So yeah, that's why people who support people they want to come.
Yes, we were
it's very wrong. It's very wrong.
And I call him, I said that was one of the ridiculous statements, lack of wisdom. You need to have people to advise you. But you have it, and so they come and make loose kind of statements and go away.
But guess what? People still support them, Mr. So people still support them because people get little handouts when
you support your people, so you are part of that basket of deplorable.
No, I'm not. I'm a different kind of person, and that's the thing. I would say, I might remain mute. I might remain mute because I don't want to.
That's a new word that I'm going to be using now.
I don't criticize. I do criticize.
Guys, I want to
thank you.
The Liberal Progressive I want to thank you so much.
Thank you too. Appreciate
it. And again, let me make this public excuse. I'm going to bring two of you to spotlight. I have appealed to you as a sedition. I have appealed to Samson too as a Liberty Party president.
Liberty Party USA, please.
I have appealed to Professor Zablo as a sedition. Allow people to come here, but because they want to have a free pass, they want people to make oatmeal for them to put it in their mouth. We don't spoon feed people here. We have a genuine conversation.
I'll bring my brother Kev Hassan. He will come here.
Or the other day I like somebody say, "Oh, LPR get one, they get their own Kev Hassan and that joy with her." Look, guys, I want to thank you so much to our one of our contributor here, Tanian Sylvie, is celebrating her birthday. We say happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
I learned that the money was so plenty, and some of them stick together. They were wet, so they had to put them
off
to dry it. Until then, but in fact, tomorrow we are making plans. LPR Bureau in La Côte d'Ivoire. President, former President Laurent Gbagbo is expected to touch down in Côte d'Ivoire. Massive preparation on the way. We hope. In fact, Mr. Tor, I didn't tell you, our guys in Côte d'Ivoire, they have been fully accredited by the Ivorian Media Network as a correspondent based there. So sooner or later, we try to keep it inclusive, not to get people involved. We are making plans to get people from Ghana. It's not just all about Liberia. We must be concerned about our neighboring countries as well. So we are doing everything possible we can to bring you live coverage tomorrow. The accreditation is already in place, and we hope we'll.
Well, Mr. So let me touch on that. Just 1 second, please. I want to take this time here also to say thank you very much on your leadership as a CEO, and all of these things that you just enumerated here. These are not free, and of course, we talk about LPR and the structure and things, but we don't have a sit budget. Most of these things that you just talked about came out of your own pocket. And we want to say thank you. We appreciate it. And whoever want to contribute, please do so. But Mr. So is trying to expand LPR to the West African basin. And I think we will see that fruit of your hard labor going to be showing up here come tomorrow, because LPR have sent some equipment in Africa through you, Mr. So. And so we want to thank you very much and say thank you for your leadership. We'll do whatever we have to do to get LPR moving.
And thank you so much as a bold hair of this network. In as much you sound so sometimes, and most of the time you can sound ridiculous. When we make our organization to you stay act on it, you don't hold or anything. We defend it when we can move there. That's the beauty of this network here. To our follower, we want to thank you so much. This is not an entertainment industry. We don't amuse people here. This is a news network. If you come for entertainment, for amusement, let me go cater, I feel bad for you. You missed the mark. That's not the point here. We're here to make the news proportional, allow you to express your views and your opinions, which is, of course, not a fact, but it must be done with civility. And that's why sometimes we will have a heater. By the time I get off this guy here, the Liberal will be calling me, and we're done with it. That's it. I don't take Liberia off. When I'm on my program, it's all about Liberia. When I'm off, we talk other things. Likewise, we do. So ANC, Liberty Party, the 100. Well, you know, if you want to be a contributor here, we're looking for some female. Come here as long as you have a thick skin. Nothing can so easily trigger you. Come here and you can be a contributor. Again, Sonny, the ladies and all men. Again, we're going to be having Fatu. It's a Liberian. It's coming forward. It's a HIV positive. She lives in Europe. She's going to be here with a painful story. But when you see her, there are some people that watched her this morning. There was a packet. And right away, because I was so touched, I was deeply moved by her revelations and her courage, the zeal, the motivation, and her passion to get to share her story, to also make other people to not to be a victim like her. That is encouraging. We like people who are brave and who are taking to responsibility. She's going to be here this Sunday at 4:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Join us here in that conversation. Until then, to all our viewers and followers, your opinions, your view, send out inbox, your concerns and things that we think that we can talk about, what we can do. Without you, we can be here. We are not against, we are not for, but we have to express the critical views and opinions, which of course they are also not facts. You can debunk that as any way you want to, but please let us put the interest of our country first. These politicians, they are gaming with us, and we need to understand that. Until then, follow us on our Facebook, our YouTube, our Twitter feed. Make sure there's a difference with follow and subscription. So you want to make sure you hit that bell and hit the one that says all notification. That way you get an alert from the Liberia Public Radio when there's any sort of news event or something is on. Also, you can visit our official website, www.liberiapublic.com, where up-to-date news are always posted. And guess what? Talking about that now, the former lawyer of Liberia jail president in the Hague, lawyer is now the head of IC. Will Taylor be a free man? That's the $1 million question. It doesn't work easily that way. But we're going to be detail. Until then, gentlemen, I want to thank you, Deliberate, Widow, and all our followers, wherever you are, far and near. Thank you for your time sharing with us here. Your views and opinions are taken. Until then, have a pleasant evening. Bye-bye.
Thank you.